All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the incredibly fast-paced and honestly rapidly evolving legal profession right here in India. India's economy is undergoing this massive, monumental shift, and lawyers, well, they're at the absolute center of it all. From registering the hottest new tech startups over in Bangalore to closing multi-billion-dollar mergers and acquisitions in Mumbai, the legal landscape is just booming. But look, here's the reality. Not all legal paths are created equal. Some paths will literally have you grinding for decades for fairly modest pay, while others can fast-track you to a corner office in record time. So, quick question for you. Did you know that some lawyers in India are pulling in massive, jaw-dropping incomes without ever even stepping foot inside a courtroom? It totally shatters that traditional stereotype, right? You know, the one of the lawyer drowning in a mountain of paperwork at a dusty court bench, arguing in front of a judge all day. Okay, let's just pause and really think about this for a second. 10 crore rupees. That is over 10 million rupees a year. Today, we're demystifying the exact paths you need to take to reach this kind of astronomical corner office salary. We're going to look closely at the absolute highest paying legal careers in India right now, precisely what these professionals do on a day-to-day basis, and, well, most importantly, exactly how they get there. Here's how we're going to break it all down today. We'll start with the boardroom dealmakers, move on to the courtroom heavyweights, and then explore the niche specialists. After that, we'll give you the ultimate salary breakdown, and we'll wrap the whole thing up with the blueprint. Starting off with Section 1, the boardroom dealmakers. This covers corporate, finance, and in-house roles. First up, we've got the Tier 1 corporate lawyer. Picture the elite firms, places like AZP or CAM. These lawyers are advising on massive M&As and intense regulatory compliance. Freshers straight out of the top national law schools generally start around 12 to 18 lakh a year. But if you stick it out, senior partners can scale from 1 all the way to over 10 crore annually. The strategy to actually get there, though, means cracking the NLU system, landing a super crucial second-year summer internship, and, of course, a ton of intense networking. Next, let's talk about the highly specialized world of the finance and securities lawyer. Look, India's startup ecosystem is absolutely exploding right now. That means every single major stock market listing, IPO, private equity deal, or venture capital round desperately needs a securities lawyer who can navigate complex SEBI regulations. Because they are directly powering India's financial markets, these specialists are valued incredibly highly. Associates at PE or VC-focused firms pull in about 20 to 40 lakh, but senior lawyers at investment banks or boutique firms, they easily earn between 60 lakh and 2 crore plus. Then, you have the in-house counsel. This is where you're working directly inside massive giants like Tata or Reliance, or maybe high-growth startups like Zomato. These lawyers handle all the internal legal strategy. Now, entry level starts around 15 to 25 lakh, but if you make it to chief legal officer or general counsel, you actually hold a seat at the main business table, and you're earning anywhere from 1 to 5 crore a year. So, it really comes down to the ultimate trade-off. On one hand, you can chase that massive pay ceiling at Tier 1 firms, but that means enduring the brutal grind of 80-hour weeks during deal closings. Or you can take the in-house path. You trade the intense advisory grind for a much, much better work-life balance, plus you get highly lucrative ESOPs, especially if you're at a fast-growing startup. Moving right along to Section 2, the courtroom heavyweights, Supreme Court advocates and litigation partners. Now this is what we like to call the long game. Junior advocates who are arguing high-stakes cases, we're talking constitutional matters, complex commercial disputes, major criminal appeals, before India's highest courts might only make 3 to 8 lakh a year to start. Honestly, the first few years can sometimes literally be unpaid while you learn the ropes under a reputed senior. But just look at how it scales. Established advocates hit 50 lakh to 5 crore, and designated senior advocates pull in a staggering 1 to 15 crore a year. The entry barrier is incredibly tough for sure, but the ceiling for arguing these top-tier disputes is absolutely enormous. Actually, to put this into perspective, here is a wild fact for you. Some designated senior advocates in India charge 25 to 50 lakh rupees per hearing, not per case, per hearing. That is essentially buying a luxury SUV every single time they speak to a judge. It just goes to show the massive financial upside of building an unshakable reputation in the courts, case by case, over decades.
But it's not just the advocates leading these high-stakes battles. You also have the litigation partners at national law firms. A massive driver of their value right now is the insolvency and bankruptcy code. Thanks to an absolute boom in IBC proceedings, corporate insolvency litigation is red hot, and these NCLT lawyers are highly sought after. Because of this huge demand, these partners pull in anywhere from 80 lakh to well over 2 crore annually.
All right, on to Section 3, the niche specialists, specifically arbitration and intellectual property. So, international arbitration lawyers. These folks are handling cross-border commercial disputes that are literally often worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They operate in global forums like the ICC, SISC, or LCIA. And with the recent amendments to the Arbitration Act, India is rapidly becoming a major arbitration hub, which is making this space absolutely explode. An LLM from a top international university is practically essential here, but the payoff? Senior practitioners are pushing 1 to 5 crore plus, and the arbitrators themselves can charge 5 to 50 lakh per case. Next up is the intellectual property, or IP, lawyer. Think about this. India files over 60,000 patent applications every single year. Every single pharma company, tech startup, and film studio needs an IP lawyer to protect their innovations. So here is the premium formula. If you can combine a background in science or engineering with a law degree, you become an incredibly high-demand patent attorney. You've got the technical vocabulary and the legal prowess. Because of that unique combo, senior IP counsel in these spaces can easily earn up to 80 lakh per annum. Okay, let's bring it all together in Section 4, the ultimate salary breakdown. We're putting earning potential side by side. Take a second to look at this progression, from the junior entry levels all the way up to the senior or partner peaks across the board. You've got Tier 1 corporate scaling from 12 lakh up to over 10 crore. The Supreme Court advocate starting at just 3 lakh, but skyrocketing to 15 crore plus. You've got arbitration, IP, finance, and litigation partner all mapped out right there. And what this brilliantly illustrates is that across every single high-paying legal career in India, the generalists get left behind financially. The extreme financial peaks, they are reserved entirely for those who pick a specific lane and master it completely. Finally, Section 5, the blueprint, exactly how you get there. If there is literally only one thing you remember from this entire explainer, please make it this. The money follows specialization. The lawyers who earn the absolute most in this country are deeply, deeply skilled in one specific high-stakes domain. They aren't trying to do everything for everyone. Whether it's mergers and acquisitions, international arbitration, or intellectual property, picking your lane and developing genuine, undeniable expertise is exactly what unlocks those corner office salaries. So what's the actual blueprint? Well, here are 3 exact steps law students and junior lawyers need to take right now. Step 1. Intern aggressively. Seriously, do not wait until your final year. Get into top firms and chambers during your 2nd and 3rd years. Networking is everything. Step 2. Pick a specialization early. Just like we talked about, don't be a generalist. Step 3. Build a digital presence. In today's market, your LinkedIn profile, your legal writing, and your thought leadership matter more than ever to potential employers and clients. The legal landscape in India is just overflowing with these incredible, highly lucrative opportunities if you know where to look and how to position yourself. So I want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. Looking at the boardroom dealmakers, the courtroom heavyweights, and the niche specialists, which high-paying path are you most interested in pursuing? Think about your own skills, your desired lifestyle, and where you genuinely see yourself making the biggest impact. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope it gave you exactly the clarity you need for your own legal career journey.